Now is the time to call the Government Operations and Oversight Committee meeting on Tuesday, September 5th at 2023 at 6:08 p.m. Roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton.
Present.
Alderman Newsome.
Present.
Alderman Felix.
Present.
Alderman Martinez. Present. Chairperson Florian.
Present. Thank you, sir. Are there any public comments for this meeting? Okay. Item D, I need a first and second motion to approve the minutes of the Government Operations and Oversight Committee meeting held on August 7th, 2023. Thank you, Alderman Martinez.
I second.
Thank you, ladies. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. New business. Item A, I need a first and second motion to approve a settlement and release of all claims for engineering and department employee.
All motion.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any questions to this motion? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Felix.
Aye.
Alderman Martinez. Chairperson Florian.
Aye. Item B, I need a first and second motion to approve a resolution to purchase Chevy Tahoe for an amount not to exceed $200,000 for the Risk Management and Public Works Department.
I have questions on this one.
We need to do the first and second first, and then we can do questions.
I so move.
Okay, thank you. Alderman Felix?
Yes, so I just wanted to make sure, I know that we went over this on the briefing, but if we can have the reason as to why we're wanting to buy this again, because something came up in my mind, but I wanted to make sure. I don't know, George, if you can let us know, or why are we gonna buy these cars? For what reason?
Our risk manager. Do you have that letter? Go ahead. You could do your one.
Well, for risk, we're looking at it because it's a bigger vehicle. We currently drive a Ford Taurus as a vehicle, a really small car, and it's hard to get in and out of for myself, is one. And we also increased the size of our staff to 3 now, and this vehicle that allows us to go to trainings together, bring our training supplies from this building to Public Works when we're doing safety training. And we're going to be out doing ADA assessments of our sidewalks and our street crossings. And it's just a bigger vehicle that will be more noticeable in the street as we're doing that to provide us with the safety of the vehicle. And Public Works wanted to use them for, they take multiple staff members to drug testing on a quarterly basis for their drug testing. And they also take interns around to different locations for their assignments. And a bigger vehicle allow them. Currently, they're using pickup trucks to do that, and it takes multiple trips for them to get the people where they need to go, and this will allow them to get quicker. And I do believe it also allow the pickup trucks will be assigned to staff instead of to Chris and his assistant.
And that would be correct. I have one more comment. I have to make sure that I did bring this up in the briefing. Thank you for asking. We currently have staff using their personal vehicles. So they're taking all of these containers and things that they're taking to the water plant, Public Works, and different internal facilities. They're transporting these things in their personal vehicles. And that's another thing that we're trying to avoid and discontinue. Sorry about that.
And just to clarify what Chief of Staff was saying, my vehicle that I have will be pushed down to my staff and engineering staff so that they can be able to utilize it in regards to the staff using their personal vehicles.
And if I could add to that, speaking with them in reference to that, that is kind of crossing boundaries when you're using your own personal vehicle. So reiterating the point, they should not be using or transporting items concerning work in their personal vehicles.
The reason why I wanted to bring it up, because one of the things that was brought up is to, when we have visitors, we would be able to use them for, to move them around. And, you know, when I heard that, I was like, well, maybe these, the Tahoe is probably not the best thing for that, purposes. Maybe we should get something like a small little bus to move our people around. That's the only reason why, because that was brought up, where we'll be taking our people around and whatnot for whenever we have visitors. For example, we had our sister city come over, and we had to use someone else's bus. We had to ask for it. So that's the only reason that came up. Instead of, wanted to make sure that, you know, we actually we're not just purchasing cars for no reason. You know, especially if we do we have how many people can be in these cars, like in this, like Tahoe, one Tahoe?
They have seating for 8 in the Tahoe.
For 8?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Alderman, you are correct. We did have our planning and zoning team. Our director was bringing on more staff. I want to make sure everyone's hearing it, just in case I didn't cover it during your briefing. We did have planning and zoning team, new employees coming on to join our team, and she wanted to give a tour of the city. And we actually had to reach out to our Waukegan Township and our Waukegan Park District and ask them for their smaller bus to take them around for those tours. That is what Alderman Felix is referencing. But yes, we did have to do that. We did search for a large enough vehicle for them, and there were some others that were visiting our city where we also had to reach out to our township and our park district to, again, attempt to use their vehicles. It comes into play, and our risk manager may speak on this, our liability. We are another government agency, but it's hard to get these other organizations to allow someone that's not part of their staff to drive their vehicles. So in some cases, they would have had to drive us around for those tours.
Right.
They should always drive us around because we're not insured to drive a school bus. Our insurance does not cover any type of bus.
Okay. And it's three of them, right? 3 Tahoes?
Correct.
Looking at 3 Tahoes, so it'd be Public Works, Risk Management.
2 will be for Public Works and 1 for risk management.
Okay. Do you think this is a good use of this? Well, I mean, I want to make sure that I do say this. I do want to make sure that you guys are comfortable, have a vehicle that, you know, you guys can use around, but I just want to make sure that this is something that is worth spending our money in. You know, we're just buying 3 cars, you know, is it also going to just be in the city, or will be take home, or how does that work?
I know mine will be just in the city, won't be taken home. I'm not sure about Public Works, if the director takes theirs home or not.
Okay.
I have one, just curious. Will the other departments be able to use these vehicles, or is this strictly just for this department?
The City Hall one, they'll be able to use. I do believe the ones for Public Works will be just assigned to the director and assistant superintendent.
Correct.
Thank you.
I have a question. When I read the email, it seems that it's going to be used for multi-purposes with dignitaries and you know, whatever issue we have with the city. But you know, I think it's a great idea. That's something that is needed. I'm sure if it's under your hands, Mr. Garland, you will assure that it will be taken care of with the cleanliness and all that stuff. So I trust you with that, because you know, it's something that we have to consider also. But I think it's a good idea. Thank you.
I don't have any other questions. I don't have any more other questions.
Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton?
Aye.
Alderman Newsome?
Aye.
Alderman Felix?
Aye.
Alderman Martinez?
Aye.
Chairperson Fleury?
Aye. Thank you, sir. Motion passes. There is no old business, no reports and communications. We need a first and second to adjourn at 6:17. We already had that at the beginning of the meeting. No, this is just a committee meeting. You don't have to sign in. The actual council meeting isn't till 7. Okay, so Kelly, can you help me out?
Are you here for city council, or are you here for a committee meeting?
I am here for the government operations and oversight.
Okay, why don't you come up and we'll just give her a couple minutes to
Okay.
speak, okay? 3 minutes.
Sorry.
My name is Andrea Moore. This is regarding, I guess, a personnel concern. I just heard throughout the last committee meeting that the committee passed or agreed to allow Bear Development to make major changes, I guess, based off of just the city planning. And they mentioned some very important things like what a RAD is, or that it was under a RAD project, which would make their request a violation of such. I have given numerous notices to the full board about the Waukegan Housing Authority and their development efforts and how they have horribly been out of regulation and or may align with maybe waste, fraud, and abuse. And as far as the tenants would go, coercion, intimidation, or retaliation. Those persons have a right to return to where they once lived. To make it where now they live somewhere else, and that's just a small scope of what you just allowed Bear Development to do, which is not the, they're not the owner, they are a partial owner. So the Waukegan Housing Authority, which is something that was brought to the city, or is signed off on the city by resolution, and that the full board and or the committees actually appoint the board members, they should be presenting that because they're the ones who understand or should understand HUD regulation or federal regulation, and not Bear Development, which is a private entity that's out of state, quite honestly. But because the Waukegan Housing Authority is, I don't know, just, they're not accountable, they're not held accountable. It brings me to my next thing. The mayor is responsible for appointing the board members. I myself have personally requested that she remove all board members. I think the one resident council or commissioner has been such for 25 years, and she's supposed to be voted by her peers. I almost can bet that there's no record that was ever given to the city of Waukegan or any official that shows that that vote or a voting process took place. And again, Eleanor Murky, Michelle Olberson, they have been commissioners for decades. And the rollover, the appointment, I've not seen any record of any mayor actually letting the public know that they can apply for appointment. And they are terribly out of regulation, and they're the persons that are responsible for hiring the executive director, that when someone like myself establishes to officials that people are suffering because of their poor business choices, that then they'll tell me to go to said person. But yet the city of Waukegan has not been responsible for the resolution that I cannot find record of on the public site, and or the fact that they appoint the board members who should actually be presenting to the city in any capacity.
Just for clarification, we voted to put that item on the city council agenda only. So it will be voted on by the whole council. So I would encourage you to speak again regarding that. Because I did, but
It's possible, if in fact, what I just heard before, Bear Development, Waukegan Housing Authority, redevelopment, RAD, people, seniors and just people with disabilities are going to be homeless now. I am one from the Armory and Barlow.
we can't have a back and forth, but
I will, can I clarify one thing here, and that is that we've only had during my term one reappointment, a chance for somebody to be on that board, and that was actually Mr. Martinez was up, and I did rotate, and he'll tell you that just to give a change, but until their term is up, and I am notified, you can't just pull them from the board.
According to HUD, because that's regulated by HUD, that's not the case. And I've actually had it.
We can't,
told me that you were
I can't engage.
my allegations.
I can't, they have to do that. I've just said that we will do reappointments when they come up, but so that the aldermen know that those reappointments are set at certain time periods, and unless there was something that was proven that there was a reason they couldn't be there, we can't just do that. But we can rotate, and we do rotate, at least I have, when those times have come up. And again, I think Alderman Martinez can testify to that.
okay, thank you, Mayor.
May I ask one question, please?
Regarding what's been on the agenda or what's just been said?
What's been said by this young lady?
Can we wait and talk about it when it's on the city council agenda?
Sure, or I can
Okay.
ask her personally. I'll do
Well, it's
that.
not on tonight, but when it's on the city council agenda.
No, I can just talk to her
Okay,
personally.
great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Adjournment, I need a first and second, motion to adjourn at 6:23.
I so move.
So, second.
Thank you,
Sorry.
ladies. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.